Hello, everybody. As always, thank you so very much for watching. It's the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. Do subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Also, if you are already a subscriber, hit the bell to notify when we'll be doing an episode. Leave a comment, and if you consider doing so, please share the episode. Here's what's up. Here's what's happening. 5 things that we need to be aware of as the week unfolds. First being the Proud Boys. The leader of the Proud Boys, Enrico Tarrio, was sentenced in federal court today to 5 months in prison. That was after the federal prosecutors had recommended 3 months in prison. The judge extending the sentence by 2 months, saying that what Mr. Tarrio did was against democracy. And Enrico Tarrio sentenced for burning a church's BLM flag and bringing high-capacity rifle magazines into the nation's capital. Now, while he was being sentenced yesterday in Portland, Oregon, the Proud Boys and some of their associates were holding what they called the Summer of Love. Black Bloc counter protesters eventually did arrive. And here's what happened with the Proud Boys and their associates, beginning with footage from their treatment of a handicapped van.
Hey, we got a boy with 7-Eleven.
Now, what we're seeing is the Proud Boys and the far right shooting paintballs, while the group known as Black Bloc, also known as Antifa, is shooting fireworks, basically smoke grenades and basic ground fireworks. Here you can see the Antifa, the Black Bloc.
Let's go! nothing. You fucking do, motherfucker. You fucking do nothing.
Now, this obviously comes from News to Share, Ford Fisher's site. Ford Fisher, a friend of the show. And this particular video is about 15 minutes long, showed just a couple of minutes there. The entire video can be seen on Facebook at News to Share. And while what we saw were basically paintball and small fireworks exchanges, things did get much more brutal, and gunfire was exchanged later on in the afternoon. And it's reported that one of the Black Bloc Antifa attacked a journalist, and other journalists had to pull off the Antifa from a female journalist. So we will be covering this throughout the week. We're going to be looking more in on more detail on what's happened, and we're going to, as always, we're going to keep an eye on the extreme left and the extreme right. And that's our first story of the night. We got 4 more to come real quick. Reverend Jesse Jackson and his wife were hospitalized on Friday with COVID-19, and they are responding positive to treatment. And the hopes are that Reverend Jackson and his wife will make a full recovery. While we're talking about COVID, Donald Trump, former president of the United States, gave a speech in Alabama over the weekend. And here's what he told his crowd, and here's how they reacted.
I believe totally in your freedoms. I do. You got to do what you have to do. But I recommend taking the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines. But you got, no, that's okay. That's all right. You got your freedoms. But I happen to take the vaccine.
Okay, there you heard it. Officially, formally, Donald Trump said indeed he did take the vaccine. It was never false news. He took the vaccine back in December. Now, like he said, you have your freedoms. If you choose not to take the vaccine, that is your freedom. Also, if you choose not to take the vaccine, try very hard not to get the virus. Hospitals are filling up once again, and it's going to get probably more serious than it has in the past because of other factors. And if you are considering getting the vaccine and you haven't yet, I'm going to make a recommendation that you do so sometime in the period while it's free, because once it's not free, you will never get a vaccine. I'm just saying, if you don't think that's the way it works, this country is based on profit, not on people. And eventually they're going to be tired of losing money, and the vaccine is not going to be available. Okay. If you don't want to take it, don't. But also consider that while right now, what we're looking at is mandates that you either have a vaccine or you don't have a job in certain situations. Before much longer, it's going to be, if you don't have a vaccine, you don't have health insurance. Your health insurance is canceled because you have made an incredibly unwise choice in the eyes of the healthcare community. I've had a couple of things going on, and I've been to the doctor over the past few days. Every one of my papers has written on it by hand, vaccinated. I have a feeling that the insurance companies are going to be looking at who's vaccinated and who's not. Again, it's all based on profit, not on people. Just something to think about. Not telling you what to think or how to think, just some things that you might consider. Story number 3, the first 200 Marines quietly were deployed to Haiti over the weekend. They left Friday from Camp Lejeune out of a group of 200 out of a battalion from Camp Lejeune. And I believe the first of several U.S. Marines that will eventually be deployed to Haiti. Of course, Haiti suffering from an earthquake, suffering from government instability with the assassination of their president, and suffering from corruption for a long, long time. If you want to know more about that, go back and check out the episode that I did with Chris on Haiti and on Afghanistan. If you haven't seen that episode, I'd highly recommend you go back and watch it anyway. Story number 4, Kendrick Wilson gave himself up from Shepherdsville, Kentucky. He was gained some notoriety because of the Breonna Taylor case and had information on the Breonna Taylor case. He was a guest of the program and informed us on that program that one of the police officers, Brett Hankinson, was actually in the business of professional escort, according to Kendrick Wallace. So Kendrick Wilson, I apologize. But Kendrick gave himself up Friday, and on an episode, last episode, we had a look from inside as Kendrick was surrendering. Kendrick has been charged. The charges so far include, but are not limited to, contempt, libel, slander, resistance, assault in the 4th degree, and terroristic threats in the 3rd degree. So we'll monitor that situation as it unfolds. And finally, the last little bit of news to consider for this week, the Supreme Commander of the NFAC, Grandmaster Jay, heads back to federal court, and that will be on Wednesday, the 25th. So these are some of the things we're going to be keeping an eye on and more as the week unfolds. And again, thank you so very much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. If you want to email me, you can do so, americandufus@gmail.com. If you want to help support the program, which is always welcomed, appreciated, and needed, it's $ American Dufus, all one word, AMERICANDUFUS at the Cash App. Until next time, peace. I love you all sincerely. Blessings upon all of you, and shalom, shalom, namaste. I wish the world a peaceful night. We could sure use one because it's a dark world. Do try to be a light. It's the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus.